Security guard laughed at for being just staff, guests shocked when he walks on stage. At the city's most glamorous gala, cameras flashed, champagne flowed, and wealthy elites mingled in glittering gowns and tuxedos. At the entrance stood a black security guard, quietly scanning tickets and ensuring order. But instead of respect, he was met with laughter and cruel whispers. "Just a guard," some guests scoffed, mocking his uniform as they strutted past. They smirked, certain he was beneath them. But what none of them knew was that within minutes, this very man would leave them stunned. For the guard they mocked was not who he seemed, and the truth about him would shake the entire room to its core. The gala was held in the grand ballroom of a luxury hotel, a night of prestige where CEOs, politicians, and celebrities gathered to celebrate excellence and leadership. The air smelled of money and pride. Guests arrived in black cars, escorted by assistants, and greeted by flashing cameras. At the entrance, every person passed through the care of Marcus, a tall, composed black man in a security uniform. He checked invitations, directed staff, and kept the event flowing. To him, it was another night of work, or at least that's what everyone believed. But while many guests smiled politely, a small group treated him like furniture. They joked loudly as they handed over their tickets, commenting about how some people work all their lives and still end up guarding doors. One woman laughed. "Imagine, he's probably been doing this forever." Sad. Others chuckled, snapping photos of themselves while Marcus stood quietly, his face unreadable. To them, he was invisible, just staff, just another uniform. What no one realized was that Marcus was not simply on duty. He was, in fact, the keynote speaker for the evening, a decorated entrepreneur who had built his empire from the ground up. Tonight, he had chosen to arrive humbly, wearing a uniform he once wore in real life, as a tribute to where he started. The cruel mockery from the guests would soon make the reveal even more unforgettable. Inside the ballroom, guests boasted about investments, traded business cards, and laughed at jokes dripping with arrogance. The same group who mocked Marcus at the door continued their performance. Seated at a prime table, they raised glasses of champagne, chuckling about how security jobs are for the unambitious. Their comments spread, catching the ears of others who shifted uncomfortably but stayed silent. Marcus had finished his role at the entrance and quietly moved backstage. He removed the jacket, revealing a sleek suit beneath. As the program began, the MC introduced the evening's keynote speaker. "Please welcome a visionary leader, a man who rose from humble beginnings in security work to become one of the most respected entrepreneurs in the nation, Mr. Marcus Wright." The spotlight swept across the ballroom. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. And then the doors opened. Marcus stepped onto the stage. The room erupted in applause, but at one table, faces turned pale. The same guests who mocked him at the door now stared in horror, realizing that just a guard they had laughed at was the man everyone had come to honor. Marcus approached the podium with calm confidence. He scanned the crowd, his eyes briefly landing on the group that had ridiculed him. Without naming them, his speech began weaving a story. His story. He spoke about starting his career as an actual security guard, working long nights while studying business by day. He talked about the countless times people dismissed him, judged him by his uniform, and assumed his worth was small. "But every shift taught me discipline, humility, and resilience," he said. "Lessons no boardroom could ever teach." The crowd leaned in, captivated. Every word cut through the air with power. Meanwhile, the arrogant diners sank lower in their chairs, their earlier mockery replayed in their minds like a cruel joke, one now exposed under the glare of the spotlight. Marcus's speech reached its peak as he told the room, "Tonight, as I stand before you, I wear this suit with pride. But I will never forget the uniform that brought me here, for dignity is not tied to what you wear. It is tied to who you are." Applause thundered across the ballroom. Cameras flashed. Reporters scribbled notes. The group that had mocked him sat frozen, their laughter long gone. Marcus glanced their way once more and added, "True leadership isn't about how you treat those who can help you climb. It's about how you treat those you believe cannot." The words struck like lightning. The entire audience turned, casting disapproving eyes at the group who had humiliated him. Their smugness evaporated, replaced by shame. Marcus ended his speech with a powerful line: "Respect is not optional. It is the foundation of humanity, and without it, all wealth is worthless." The applause was deafening, drowning out the silence of those who had mocked him. The room had witnessed a transformation, not of Marcus, but of their perception. The gala ended, but the memory lingered. By morning, headlines flashed across news outlets. From security guard to CEO, Marcus Wright inspires Gala with powerful speech. Clips of his words went viral, shared by millions who found strength in his message. The group who mocked him tried to remain invisible, but whispers spread quickly. Their arrogance was a cautionary tale, proof that prejudice can destroy reputations in seconds. For Marcus, it wasn't about revenge. It was about the message. He had lived the humiliation of being underestimated, and tonight he used it to open eyes. He ensured that everyone who left that ballroom carried a lesson. Respect is not earned by titles, but given freely to every human being. Marcus continued to expand his businesses, employing hundreds and ensuring dignity for every worker. In his restaurants, offices, and companies, no one was ever just staff. Everyone mattered. The story became a legend, told again and again, not because a group of wealthy people were shamed, but because one man chose dignity over bitterness. And, for everyone who watched, one haunting question remained. The next time you see someone in uniform, will you see the uniform or the human being wearing it?